Okay, so we've got here then our surprise shirts box, as you can see. And we're going to find out who we're going to be doing a rebuild on for today's video. Let's open this thing up and find out what we've got inside. I'm going to do it to the side like this. Right, it says, okay, AJ Auxerre, who is their third shirt from a couple of years ago. And obviously they are a French team now playing in the second division in France. It's going to be a proper rebuild, this one. This should be fun. Let's take a look at this shirt, actually. Oh, it's nice. It's black. I'm a fan. I'm a fan already. Look at... That is a lovely shirt. The black, it's their third shirt from 2020-21. And you know what? That is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. We're going to be rebuilding Auxerre. I like it. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Clayts and welcome to another rebuild video on the channel. Loads of you have been asking for this. You've been saying, where are the rebuild videos? Do another rebuild. Well, today we're going to, and I think I've added an extra little bit of spice to the video because I've opened up a surprise shirts box and I've only just found out which team we are going to be managing to try to rebuild. And that team is... It's AJ Auxerre in France, and I'm very excited about this rebuild. I think we should get into it. Today's video is, of course, sponsored by Surprise Shirts, and you can go and check out their website here, surpriseshirts.co.uk, and get your own surprise box with a beautiful shirt like this Auxerre one, or like another one that they did send out very kindly as well, which is this one here, Almirante Brown in Argentina. It's a beauty. There are so many nice shirts on there and very, very well priced. And even you can get 10% off by using code Clayts at checkout as well. I do recommend you go and do so. A big thank you to those guys. They're going to sponsor today's video and the next couple because I'm thinking we'll probably do this Auxerre save over 2 or 3 videos because I think we can really do it justice by doing that. Let's go and find out about the history of Auxerre and jump into our rebuild. Okay, then, here we are then. We are in. We've been appointed as the manager at Auxerre, and I am ready to rebuild this team. Let's jump in and go through. Let's have a look at the club as a whole. I've been doing a little bit of Googling to find out a bit more about them, because mainly the thing that I think of when I think of Auxerre is Djibril Cissé, and it's about that as the extent of it. Oh, Laurent Blanc. There's a few other players from there. Cantona was at Auxerre, wasn't he? They've got a pretty rich history. I was looking, the last time that they won the Ligue 1, the first division in France, was in 1995-96. As it does actually say here, look, the club enjoyed probably their best spell of success during the 1990s. It's now a 16-year barren spell, though, having not won a competition since 2005. What competition was that in 2005? I think it was the Trophée des Champions in 2005. Is that like the League Cup? Because it's not the French Cup, which is here, which, oh no, they did win the French Cup in 2005 as well, so they had some relative success during those 2000s, but back in 1995 was the last time they won the French division, the top league, the Ligue 1. Maybe that's the aim for our short series here. Is that a little bit ambitious? I like to aim high. Let's go and see what we've got there. We're looking at a transfer budget of just under £900,000. It's not very much money. A wage budget of £100,000 per week. Look, we are predicted to finish 4th, so maybe there's a chance that without spending too much money in this first season, we can sneak up to the top division, and then if we survive, then we can maybe build from there. That will always be the plan. Let's go and have a look at this squad then. We've got Charbonnier, the striker, Perrin. Do I recognize many of these players? I'm going to be honest with you. No might be the answer. I'm going to go and do a proper, real review of the squad and make my mind up on who we can go and try and sign, really, to improve on this team. And I guess we'll go from there. I'm going to go and see where I want to improve things. Okay, so I've done a bit of evaluating of the squad then, as I said I was going to do. And this, I think, is the type of system that I think we might play. I've thrown the players into a 4-2-3-1, and I've sort of looked at which our best options are in each position. We'll go through them now, and I'll sort of talk you through what I think the plan is going to be in the transfer market. With our very limited funds, I'll just show you again. We've got about £855,000 to go and spend. It's not very much. Of course, we could maybe do some sales as well to bring some players in. We will get 100% of the transfer revenue, so we will be able to maybe raise a little bit in terms of money. But I think from here, our goalkeeper is going to be Leon. I think we'll probably stick with him this year. He looks serviceable as our goalkeeper. The French Guyanese goalkeeper, Donovan Leon there. At right back, we're going to go with Arcus. I think he's he's maybe one of our weaker players. Maybe if there is a right back available, we should go and get one, but he's going to start at right back. Bernard is our left back, who I think is actually quite good, very well rounded as a left back, quite experienced too. I do like the centre back partnership here. Jubal is going to play on the right hand side. He is a Brazilian defender. That's maybe why I like him. He's also 6'3", which does fit what I like in a defender, in a centre back, a big meaty man at the right hand side, on the right hand side of defence. And then next to him, Pellenard, who can also play left back, is left-footed. I like the left-footed, right-footed combination, don't I? So I quite like our defence. I think our defence will do enough. If there is a really good defender out there on the market that we could bring in, maybe we should. But I'm not necessarily sure that that's an area that we need to be improving. I think we can get by with these lads. Going into the midfield then, we have got a youngster in Trallet, who is on loan from Nice, who is only 20 years old. He's going to be our deep line playmaker, I think, at this stage. We do have maybe some options to switch it up, with some of these being a little bit interchangeable. But for now, I think Trallet with Saki next to him. Now, Saki does look quite good. He is an attacking-minded midfielder, and I think he's going to play as our CM attack, which is a very popular role right now, isn't it? I'm actually doing a video on it, which it might be out by the time this comes out, but if not, look forward to it. I'm going to go and work out what the best traits and the best way to deploy your CM attack is actually going to be. I think Saki might be that guy. He doesn't have the traits that I like. He doesn't have any traits at all, but for now, I think he might be that man with Auxerre in front of him. Now, I've got a bit of a decision to do here. I actually think Matthias Auxerre might be one of our better players here. I think he's got a little bit about him, and I think he could maybe be quite important. He's got decent physicals for, you know, going forward. I actually wonder whether I want to use him off the left-hand side cutting in. I think this particular role in this system is quite influential, and I wonder if I want to do that. In which case, could Saki come in here and we buy a CM attack player and Hayne drops out? Hayne is by no means a bad player on this left-hand side too. Just the only thing that worries me is the fact that he's already left-footed, cutting in. He has got the trait to cut in inside from both wings, which I suppose does work, but if he's naturally trying to go onto his left foot, that could be problematic on this side, so I'm wondering how best to use him. Perrin on the right hand side is, again, a lot of these players, they're okay, right? I think we maybe want to see if there's any superstars. I don't know if we're going to be able to sign a superstar, but can we improve on any of these players? Maybe. It depends what is out there. So Perrin's going to start on this right hand side here as a bit of a traditional winger, using his right foot, and then up front, Charbonnier is going to be our striker. I think this guy should be able to get goals in this league. He's got a bit of height about him, decent jumping reach at 14, good finishing, quite well rounded, nothing that really jumps out, but also very experienced and has scored goals for teams at this sort of level. Look, in fact, he scored goals for Brest last year in the top division, 6 of them. Look at that for a season in the league below. He's got pedigree at this level, 27 league goals in Liga 2. Is that how you say it? I feel like I'm going for it. Ligue 2 and Liga 1. I'm going to try, you know, you've got all my French accents going on in this particular save. So look forward to that for the rest of this. And then on the bench, there are some decent options too. We've got a defensive midfielder in Barama Toure. If we did drop to the 4-3-3, where this advanced playmaker becomes a deep line playmaker down here, then he could be that guy maybe as a ball winner. And then our other striker option is Dugimond, who is, I think, also quite good, very experienced at 35 years old. So there's a lot of experience in this side. I think this is the system we're going to go with. But of course, it wouldn't be a rebuild unless we did some transfers and made some signings. So that's what I'm going to go and do. And I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so a few transfer things are rumbling behind the scenes at the moment, but I've stopped here because it is actually the first game of the season. Let me show you what I've done so far then in, what, about 3 or 4 days? I did start quite late in the transfer window. I've sold the right back in Carland Arcus. I said he may be a weak link. I realised that money is much tighter than I expected. It's basically one signing's worth of wages. So I've let a couple, or I've offered out a couple of players here. Arcus was one of them. He's moved on to Paris FC for £81,000. I've managed to also well, these say that these have been loaned in. I've not actually signed anybody officially yet, but in the workings there are 1 or 2. Safiat Taida, although it says I've signed him here, is only in on trial, as is Giovanni Dos Santos. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the transfer history thing there. I'm not really sure, but he's in on trial. There are 1 or 2 others that are in on trial as well. If I show you here, Taida, Moreira, Yanga Mbiwa, Dos Santos, and John Obi Macau. All of them, in fact, look really, really good. Taida is probably target number 1, but he has actually got bids in from some first division teams, so I'm a little bit worried that he is going to choose them. But what a player he would be if you could bring him in. He's got some really nice traits that I like as well. Not dwells on ball and dives into tackles, but does have arrives late in opponent's area. If we did make him our central midfielder on attack. I actually think it would suit him quite well. He can basically do any of these midfield roles, and he's got the nice traits there. I think Tide will be a really good signing, a very tidy signing, you could say. And then other signings like Dos Santos, I think in behind those strikers, moving Auxerre wide, I think it could be quite good. Anyway, though, the team that is going to be playing our first game of the season, and because it's the first game, I'm going to go and play it and show you the highlights of it and show you how I do in that game. The side is going to be as follows. It's the team that I showed you. I'm going to start Auxerre through the middle because we've not made those signings yet. Hines starts. I've offered out Hines as well, and he's received a bid from Brest and from Clermont. He's going to start this game, though, and coming in at right back is going to be Coef. Let's go and play. We're playing Amiens. By the way, just to show you the league table, we are predicted to finish 6th in the league according to the pre-season odds. So will we be able to do better than that? Will we be able to sneak into those playoff spots potentially at 5th and above? I think that has to be the aim. Can we sneak a promotion? Of course, that's going to come down a lot to the signings we managed to make. But let's go and play this first game against Amiens. I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so here we are then. Our first game of our Auxerre save is in the history books, and we've drawn away at Amiens. It was probably a fair result. It was 1-1. Look, it's pretty even in terms of the match stats there. It was a goal from Bamba and then an equalizer from Auxerre, or Auxerre as I've been calling him. Probably Auxerre, right? You'd have to let me know about that pronunciation. We played okay here. We actually did have a red card as well. I'll show you the goals here. The first goal was from Amiens pretty early on, 19 minutes on the clock. They worked it well. Goalkeeper, not sure it's his finest hour there. Do we need to look in the transfer window for a better goalkeeper? Possibly. Bamba scored the goal. But then towards the end of the game, 78, 79 minutes on the clock, Perrin down the right-hand side, crossed it. Dujumont's shot was blocked, and Auxerre was on hand to put the ball in the back of the net. 1-1 draw to start off our reign here at Auxerre. I think it's a fair result. Definitely shows me that there are some improvements that can be made in certain positions. I've learned a lot from that, especially Charbonnier dropping a 6.1 there. Hopefully, we can go and get in some good signings from this point on. What I'm going to go and do is finish the transfer window, show you the signings that we have made, then we're going to start going quite quickly through the rest of this season. Today's episode is going to be one full episode, and then we're going to have 2 more episodes afterwards to do season number 2 and then season number 3, a bit like we've done the Plymouth save here on the channel. If you are looking forward to the rest of this one, if you've enjoyed this so far, make sure you subscribe to the channel because there are more videos coming your way. I will see you, though, when we've hopefully signed some really good players. See you in a second. All right, so I have completed our transfer business. Now, technically, the transfer window is still open because it's the 29th of August, but we are done. We've actually overspent the money that we've had, and I've brought in 5 new players, and I've sold 4 players. So it's 1 in, 1 out with an extra one in there, which I'll talk to you about the extra one because the board have done me a bit of a solid. You know when you ask the board to make a signing for you, and you're expecting them to say no, and then they're like, yeah, good idea. That happened to me. We'll get to him in a second. Let's first of all, though, look at the outgoings in this summer transfer window. Of course, most of the transfer business has already been done, the real life business, but you always want to do your own extra added on transfers, don't you? I have got rid of and sold these players then. Coef, Kamara, Hein, which I did mention in the last little section, didn't I? And also Arcus, which I told you about before. We've made about £475,000 in cash. Cold cash, and we've gone and spent that cash and then some in the market too. Remember, we had a £900,000 budget, didn't we? The first signing then is Eddie Ganore, who is a deep line playmaker. As you can see, pretty well. He's pretty good, is what I'd say about him. He's 27 years old. He's French, so he fits homegrown rules and all of that type of stuff. One of the positions that we did identify as somewhere to bring in a player was at this centre mid spot, deep line playmaker. Eddie Ganore brought in for £230,000 is going to be that guy. You see he's made a good start too, 7.18 in his first 5 games. I will show you those results as well. Next player is a player that you may be familiar with. If you've watched the Plymouth save, Franco Tongia has been in that Plymouth team for a while. He's now on loan. He's only 19 at the start of the game, but we know how good he can turn out in Football Manager 2022. To loan him for this year, he's going to be a bit of an option. Probably, well, when I signed him, he was going to be a starter, but you can see by the next signings we've made why now I think he might just be a rotation option for us. And that's because the next signing is, I think, quite a big one. A bit of a future superstar, a bit of an FM future legend, I think. Nachi Univar, I'm sure lots of you have signed him in your saves as well. He's only 5'6", pocket rocket. He is on loan from Ajax for this year, and I'm very happy to have him. He's a bit of, I think he can be a bit of a star in this Ligue 2. And I'm going to play him probably from the left-hand side, but potentially from this central midfield or central attacking midfield spot as well. Really, really good player. Happy to have him in on loan for this year. We are paying £240,000 as well to have the privilege of having him here, but I think it's just worth it, especially if it gets us promoted, which I'm hoping it might do. And then the next signing is Patrick Berner. I've replaced our right back. I've sold Koef, who was one of the right backs, and I said that we also sold 2 right backs. The other right back we did sell as well. Patrick Berner then is going to be our right back. We paid about £450,000 for him. Very average start from him, but I think he's a very solid player for this league. He was actually at Nimes before as well, so he was playing in the same division as us, and he's played in the top division 2 for Nice in the past, so a bit of pedigree to him too. Patrick Berner is our right back. And then the final one, the one that I'm maybe most excited about, maybe took me by surprise a bit, is Florian Aye, because we had no money left. I looked at him and thought, he does look really good for this level. I bet he will score goals in the second division in France. And I thought, I'll ask the board. So I asked the board, and they said yes. And they bought him for 850k. And it didn't even come out of my budgets or anything, which is just beautiful, isn't it? I mean, he's not scored in his first 2 games, but those were both off the bench because I've introduced him a little bit lightly to begin with, because Charbonnier, who usually plays up front for us, is really good, isn't he? But I think the side is actually going to look like this going onwards. Leon, the goalkeeper, has actually had some really good games for us. 7.3 last 5 games, 7.18 average rating. You can see the average ratings. We've started well, and I'll show you those results in a second too. Berner, Jubal, Lloris won't be a starter. That is just because we had a red card in a game as well. As you can see, we've had a couple of red cards. Pellenard did miss a game as well, but this will probably be the starting team. Bernard at left back, Gonore and Saki central midfield, Auxerre back to this cam spot. They could swap actually, him and Univar, but I think we'll start with Univar from the left hand side because he's made a good start there. As you can see, 3 goals in his first 4 games. What a guy. And then Sinayoko is now starting as our right-sided midfielder. There's not a lot going for him in terms of his attributes here, but he has scored 3 in his first 3 games. And we're going to stick with him. And that was all because of an injury to Perrin, who is now back from his injury. So actually, I should stick him back on this bench, shouldn't I? Maybe in place of the great name there, Paul Jolly, which I do really like. But Perrin is back, but I'm going to stick with Sinayoko. He's been effective, as you can see, 3 and 3. Auxerre in the middle, and then Aye is going to be our striker. But also, Charbonnier has got 2 goals this year because our start has gone like this. After that 1-1, which I showed you before, we did lose to Grenoble. We did deserve to lose that game as well. We did not play very well at all, and we needed to bring in some new players, which we did, and we bounced back. 2-0 wins against a 2-0 win against Ajaccio. We beat Paris FC 4-2. They did have a red card, which helped us a lot in this game. Some late goals. Nachi Univar scoring on his debut there. I think actually, was it his debut? No, it's his second game. He had a really poor debut. I remember I played that game, a 6.3 in that one. And then we bounced after that. Univar scored in the next 3 games after that. Look, we won 5-0 against Gwynkamp, and then 2-0 against Nancy. That takes us at this stage 2nd in the division. Promotion is the aim. What I'm going to go and do now is play the rest of this season and see you at the end of the season, where we'll see how we do. Will we manage to go and get ourselves promoted? I'll see you in May. Okay, here we are then. It is May, and have a look at this for a league table. We've not quite finished our season, but we are top of the league. We've had a sensational season. I've had so much fun playing this season. Florian Aye, look, top goal scorer with 27 goals. This man, thank you so much to our board. He is a machine. If I actually just show you, he's got 39 goals in 32 games. In 30 games, I should say, all competitions. And he missed some of the season because he went on to the African Nations Cup during January. What a man, and what a season we are having. But it's not yet complete. We're going to make today's episode super long. Apologies if you don't like long episodes. I mean, congratulations if you do like long episodes, because we're going to continue. We're going to go and play a live com to see if we can confirm the league title. And we will be playing in Ligue 1 next season, which I'm delighted about. Our rebuild has got off to a fantastic start. Let me show you some of our results then as we go through before we go and play Amiens in our final game of the season. Let's go all the way back to, it was August, wasn't it? Let's go to here. We played this game here, and we played a couple of these games after this. I think we ended up on was it the Paris FC game or maybe the Gwyngamp game? Either way, and that was the Nancy game or the Nancy game, wasn't it? After that, we did lose to Niort in the league, who were not a great team. But after that, look, you can see the form as we start to get into the swing of things. You can also see the moments where Florian Aye just becomes the best striker in the world. He loved it up front in that advanced forward role, and I loved him being there. Look at the goals he scored during, this was October moving into November. He scored 2 in that one in that one, 2 in that one, a hat-trick in the game before. And then after this, I mean, the French Cup is ridiculous. I don't know if you've played in France on FM before, or you know the French leagues that well, but the French Cup, this is the French Cup 7th round. We played a team called Lac Foot and beat them 14-1. And then we played the 8th round and beat a team 8-0, Chantilly, look. And Florian Aye scored 6 in this one, I think, and 5 in the one before. That's why his goal record maybe looks a little bit better than it actually was, even though it was sensational in itself. We were losing games every now and then. We lost to Cheyenne, who had a really good season. They finished, I think, towards the top of the table, or will be finished. Yeah, they finished 5th, look, or will be finishing potentially 4th if they do win their last game. They will be in the playoffs. They were a good team. We did lose to those, but recovering well to win lots of matches going through. Have a look at those results. Have a look at the goal scorers. Some good wins, like 6-1 here. We beat, what's this team? Is it Sochaux? I thought it might have been. It's Sochaux 5-1 then. Nîmes 5-1. We beat Toulouse, who are the team that are in the title race with us, 4-0, and IA scored goals there. We did have, and now this is the only slight worry for the end of the season here, whilst we go into this title decider of a match, we did lose 3 of our last 5 games and drew one of them as well. We've only won 1 in our last 5, but it was the most recent one, and you know how FM works. Hopefully that does give the morale a little bit of a boost before we go into this last game. A 3-1 win in that. But let's just have a look at the tactic and the system that we've been playing and some of the player stats as well. This pretty much was the team throughout the year. You can see the appearances down the right-hand side here. You can see the goal scorers down the right-hand side here too. In goal, Leon was our main goalkeeper. He played 40 times. I think that's every single game. Bernard did play 37 times. We've got our defense here of Jubal and Pellenard. We won't be with Jubal, who's got himself another red card. I think he's got a couple, actually. He's also leaving at the end of the season. He's going to Saint-Etienne. A couple of our players are on the way out, look. Touré is leaving too, and I think that's it, but we may well lose a couple of other players as well. We're also looking at free transfers too, but that will probably be in episode number 2 of this. Let's concentrate on the performances for this season in this one. Bernard played most games at left back. The midfield did change from the start of the season. Gonore in the midfield was a mainstay, played 37 times. Alongside him, Trolle, who I didn't think was going to be a starter, actually came in as the CM attack because I moved Saki to the right-hand side as a winger. I had a look at him and realised he can definitely play as a winger here. He's really too good to not be in the team. And we just kind of juggled the players around a little bit. He started as a winger for a lot of the season, scored 6 goals, played quite well. Auxerre, I did predict that he was going to be our main player, our most important player. Him alongside IA was our most important player. 7.62 for this season, scored 10 goals from this attacking midfield spot. And then Univar, who we loaned in, got 14 goals from the left-hand side. IA, the star of the show though, he got 39 goals in 30 starts, 7.58. He is, I mean, I know he got 11 of those in the cup there, but to be honest, how many did he score in the league? He still got 27 and 27 in the league. He was superb. Can he do it at Ligue 1 level? We'll have to find out next year, won't we? But that has been the performances. You can see some of the players that didn't quite make as many. Charbonnier did start 17 times and get 8 goals actually himself, as well as some of these players did play a fair few games. Tongia played 12 times, scored 7 goals. Very good. Lots of those off the bench though. Lloris, the defender, did play quite a few games as well. And Sinayoko, who had a fantastic start to the season, was then replaced, but did score 6 goals over the course of our season. So very, very good. We will look to the future. But before we do that, can we go and confirm this league title by getting, I think a draw probably does it. Let's actually just check. Does a draw do it? We go to 76. Our goal difference is better. I think a draw would be enough. But let's go and try and win. Let's go to the final game of the season. Okay, let's put this team together. We've actually got a slight injury to our goalkeeper there. That's not good news. We'll bring Leighton in, who's actually got a decent bit of potential. I was looking at him as well before. Don't mind the look of him, Sonny Leighton. So he's going to start. Jubal comes out for, I think, Lloris. I think Lloris is left-footed, though, is the only thing here. Do we do Lloris? Or do we do with Paul Jolly, who is right-footed? Do you know what? Paul Jolly is going to start. I don't like the 2 left-footed things. So Paul Jolly is going to start. We'll put Lloris on the bench there. Okay, that's the team then. Let's get into this match. and hopefully we can win this league title. All right, then, we are underway, and we are the home team. We are the team that should win this. We're top of the league. We've been in great form. Can we just do the business? First 10 minutes, 3 shots, 0 for them. It's been a good start. Can we get a highlight at some point? Been a nothing first half here. I'm just seeing 5 shots from us. They've just had their first shot, but we're approaching half time. It's still 0-0. If it stays like this, this is actually fine. We do win the league, but Toulouse are 2-0 up. I don't want to lose from this point here. I've done the same joke again now. I'm sorry. We do kind of need to go and get a goal here. The pressure is on. If we concede, it will slip out of our hands. And we have been going from first to second to first to second quite a lot this year. I hope it doesn't happen right at the end. We've got a corner for ourselves here. Jolly almost on the end of it. Can we hit this? Sinayoko boots it, scores a great goal. And that might be the goal that confirms us as champions of the second division in France this year for Auxerre. Take us back to Ligue 1, the top division. What a hit that is from Sinayoko. An unlikely hero this year. I don't think I expected anything of him. And he's been really good. That is a great goal. 1-0 then with 35 minutes to go and play. Let's just see this game out. There you see us at the top of the league, look. 11 shots from us, 3 from them. See the game out, lads. Be sensible. I might start to do some subs. Happy days. Happy days. Okay, I've done a couple of subs now. We're going to start to hopefully just see this game out, waste a little bit of time. There are 8 minutes to play, and we're about to be confirmed as the champions. They've not had enough quite to lose, and we're just waiting for the final whistle to go. And there it is. We are the Ligue 2 champions for this year. The league table is confirmed as looking like this: 78 points. We won 24, we drew 6, and I think we lost 8 in the end. And I mean, we had a lot of yellow cards there. What a weird match that was. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellows in that game. Doesn't matter though, because we've won the league. We will be back in the next episode where we go and try and sign some players to try and keep us in the top division. Maybe aim for a mid-table finish. I think we can do it. We've got some really good players here. Anything more than that might be slightly ambitious. But thank you so much for watching today. If you have made it to the end, then you need to let me know in the comments down below. You are the real OGs of this channel. Thank you so much for your support, though. If you've not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you want to give this video a like, I mean, if you got to this point in the video, you must have liked it. So leave a like on the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.